kid from the Cayman Islands making his mark on the world.
Yeah.
You sort of go back and you see like, wow, is this really happening?
Most kids in the hockey business, as soon as he started 6 years old, he didn't start hockey till 12, 13. That's a lot of adversity to overcome.
There's no ice here in Cayman.
My path is a little different from most players, not being too familiar with ice hockey growing up.
Jackson has always just been fearless, always looking to raise that bar in anything he did.
I'm Jackson Covert, and I'm from the Cayman Islands. I put everything on my left side first, like left skate. If I was putting my jock on, I put my left foot through it first, or like putting my left glove on. I just like left side dominant first. That's like for the first half of the season, and then for the second half, I'm all right. I guess everyone's gonna notice now after this. The first person to play hockey in my family was my dad. He played for the Cayman national team.
I attended 5 tournaments I did for 10 years, then retired.
Ever since then, he's been teaching me how to play hockey.
So Jackson started playing roller hockey. He was 3.5.
The rink I grew up playing in, it was called King's Arena. It was like a family there. Everyone's so close.
It was our home away from home. We are lucky to have that facility, the only one in the Caribbean. Just like how, many kids would have spent many hours growing up at an ice rink, a cold ice rink. We had the benefit of a warm indoor facility with air conditioning and inline hockey.
So when I was 6 years old, my parents decided to sign us up for travel hockey, my brother and I. We had a lot of fun going to various tournaments in California, North Carolina, Miami. We did those tournaments all year round.
Our first tournament in Estero, no one had ever been to a 6U game that was ever that packed.
The score was 22-20. Jackson scored 20 of the 22 goals. So the second year that he went, there wasn't a single space around the rink where someone could find a space to watch.
And we all just sat there saying, how does a kid do this first time ever and make such a show of it and be so good at it?
Jackson is that person who everyone wants to be around. He has this charisma about him that people just naturally gravitate to him.
He's not one to rush for the spotlight. He allowed everybody to have their place. If you notice any pictures about him, he's always in the background of this celebration.
When I wasn't playing roller hockey, I was playing a lot of soccer. We go to the beach a lot, go on boats a lot, jet skiing a lot of water sports. The idea of going to Canada first came up was around COVID time. We were kind of on online school and no sports were really being played. My parents decided to start looking for a boarding school to send me and my brother to. I was really still focused on soccer at that point. When I arrived there, hockey wasn't really on the top of my mind for my main path.
That was his passion. Soccer is his passion. When he arrived there, that's what he immersed himself in. But he did get a taste of ice hockey.
I was first introduced to ice hockey when I was 13 years old. It was really weird for me. In roller, you kind of twist your ankle to stop, but in ice, you kind of just like slide. Sometimes I'd do a roller stop and I just kind of looked like a little silly because I'd just fall over almost. I'd skate with my friends a lot and they were like, "You're not bad, you should try out for the team." I remember my first tryout. I didn't really know what an offside or an icing really was because in roller hockey, we don't really have that. I kind of looked a little lost out there.
So when Jackson was here on island, I couldn't get him to watch a ice hockey game for anything. It wasn't things that a lot of his friend group would associate with. So when he tried out for the Tigers, he had no clue because he didn't make the connection.
My teammates were chirping me about that. Then they started telling me like what they actually need in the rules and stuff. So I made the team eventually. Compared to my teammates, I would say I was a little behind. I wasn't really too sure like what I'm supposed to do with my position almost. When I was struggling with all that stuff, it kind of made me feel determined to just learn it quicker, faster. I know in the offensive zone, that was where I was shining too. So I just had to figure out the little details of my game.
During Jackson's first year of playing AA with the Tigers, he had a great season. He led the team in goals and assists. That second year, he really focused to show the coaches that he can bring the level of the entire team up. He definitely rose to the occasion in 3 years, especially at that age group where you're playing against guys who've been playing for better parts of 10 years, and to be able to make it to AAA in your third year, a real feather in his cap.
So my OHL draft experience, I was watching day one, watching a couple of my friends and teammates get picked. Eventually, towards the end of the day, I didn't end up going. I was pretty bummed out, and that finished pretty late, so I ended up going to bed a little later that night. When I woke up the next morning, I checked the time and I realized the draft had been going on. Pulled up my laptop and then saw my name there, and London Knights drafted me, and it was a huge honor. And then I looked at my phone and saw a missed call from Mark Hunter, so I had to give him a call right back.
Very unusual. Most kids in the hockey business or any sports usually start at 6 years old, and the way they go from there. He didn't start hockey till 12, 13. This shows how talented he really is.
I called my parents right away. That was the first thing I did, though. My mom kind of yelled in my ear, but like in a good way. Like she was like screaming of happiness, and then my dad was just saying congratulations, and he was really proud of me.
When Jackson initially started playing roller hockey, to envision that his name would have been called at the OHL draft, I mean, that was never in our minds, never in the picture. The thing for him going in was having to prove himself. Even though he played a year of AAA, he's still this inline kid. So he definitely went into the year with a point to prove.
A chance for Culver shooting! He scores! Culver picks his way past one man. Centering pass and scores! Culver takes a shot, scores! South center pass, they score off the home! Gibson cover for Culver, a dandy. Now Culver hard in the net, shoots, score! Culver trying to pry it loose, comes up with it, walks out, he shoots, he scores! Stairs, score! Culver shooting! He scores! Culver fires and scores! Jackson Culver quiets the crowd!
Getting Rookie of the Year and the 3-Star Award was it was a pretty cool experience.
Watching an arena of 9,000 people cheering for your kid, it does take you back. Jackson came out after and was signing autographs. There was this little kid, probably about 3 or 4. Jackson signed his stuff, and the kid turns to his mom and says, "He looks just like me. He looks like me." And that's very important. People, they can see and identify someone who looks like them and inspire others to also follow in his footsteps.
The NHL draft started to seem real to me when I got picked for the prospects game. It was a huge honor.
So for Cayman, this would be an exceptionally huge moment.
Cayman has had success in swimming, in track and field. Jordan Crooks, fastest 50-meter swimmer in the world. In a couple of years, if he makes that transition, it would be a monumental achievement for a Caymanian.
Whether it's from the senior echelons of the government to the people that we play with and he's grown up with, everybody loves the fact that Jackson has reached this platform and is able to remember his roots.
It would mean a lot for Cayman, especially every kid out there in Cayman, just to show them that no matter what you put your mind to, you can get it done.
It's just great to see, isn't it? Just to see where you can get hockey players from any country and anywhere.
We'll all be exceptionally proud should his name be called.
To be able to make that transition into something you didn't grow up around is very special.
There's a lot of people that want to doubt my path and just doubt how far I've come. I want to prove them wrong and just prove to myself that I know I can do it.